is a technology company. So what all do you do?
So I guess that's a great question to start with, because not too much is known about Coherent, and Coherent has a pretty long history of about 30-40 years of technology and innovation. Essentially, we straddle three market segments. One is industrial, where our laser products are, they're like a supermarket for lasers. Any laser that you talk about, Coherent would have an offering. The second segment, which is actually in the news a lot, is our networking products,
Sure.
right? And we kind of power, we have a hand in AI. NVIDIA would possibly be one of our largest customers. We make transceivers which run at 1.6 gig, 800 mega. So, very, very strong portfolio in the optics segment. And underpinning both is actually what is our core DNA. We are a materials company.
Okay.
We have a lot of technological innovation that we bring to the table in the materials we use. In fact, our founder, Samuel Johnson, he had a nice bite, which is saying that the limit to what humans can do is limited only by their imagination and the materials that's available to them.
So true. So true.
Right? So constantly we are pushing the boundaries on materials and new materials. So compound semiconductors. So we have a nice strong portfolio in compound semiconductors, and a lot of our products go across different segments. For instance, if you take the Hubble telescope, the mirror would be provided by Coherent.
Wonderful.
Right? Or you take a large company like, say, any of the social media companies trying to bring in 3D glasses, right? They would come to Coherent saying, "Hey, can you give us this, which will bring us virtual reality into space?" Or you will look at the OLED televisions, for instance, right? A company like LG, or the lasers that are used to anneal, that's coming from Coherent.
Super.
So any of these large innovators that you're seeing on the cutting edge, they'll rely on components from a company like Coherent. So to answer your question, it's the materials that we bring to the table and how we use them to push the boundaries of technology in each of those segments we play in. I hope that
Awesome.
answers.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So how big is the laser industry size?
So within the Coherent portfolio, I guess there are two ways to answer this. One is, of course, from Coherent's perspective. Currently, our largest is our optical networking segment. As you can see, right, demand for AI is distorting a lot of other segments, and that's what's happened to us. Large, we are almost a $5 billion+ company. A large portion of our turnover comes from that segment.
Sure.
Where our order books are full for the next couple of years. And then the next segment is the laser segment. And to answer your question about how big is that for Coherent, relatively it's not. It's somewhere in the middle, about $1.5 billion. But lasers as a market, and especially in the Indian context, it's an amazing industry. In India, we are seeing a CAGR for the next 5 years upwards of 25%, which means your market is going to double in 3 years.
Sure.
Right? And a lot of that growth is going to be driven by fiber lasers. And so, what does it mean in terms of why we are here today is obviously because we think we have a product which is going to change the dynamics or help the dynamics grow exponentially in India and enable this growth. So that's why we're talking about today about the edge fiber laser.
Yes.
And we see that over the next, like in the next 3 years, we see the market doubling. Over the next 5 years, it will triple. And we want to be an important player enabling that.
Super. What are your expansion plans?
So we want, this is a product which is being designed with a market like India in mind. So we'll start with assembly. So India, China, a lot of the emerging markets will see this product, and wherever else the requirement is. But we definitely see it here, so we'll start assembling here very soon. And we're thankful to the government of India for enabling, for helping and assisting and guiding us.
Make in India initiative.
Make in India initiative. Of course, our representatives here, which is Laser Science, who've been our partners for about 30 years in this journey. But now we're talking about changing the game, right? So
Sure.
we start with assembly and then move on to manufacturing, and that's the first step,
Sure.
right? Because the Coherent portfolio is so large,
Okay.
and with India really growing, we obviously see ourselves playing a larger part.
Super. Wish you good luck.